This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 1360, Comic Geek Speak Super Show 2013, Storytime with Uncle Sal panel. Welcome to the show, I'm Brian Chrisman. We continue our releases of the panels recorded at Super Show. This is the third panel of the show. This was recorded Saturday afternoon at the show, and it's a nice panel room. Jamie D, Uncle Sal, in front of a live studio audience. Here we go. All right, here comes Uncle Sal. Boy, we got quiet all of a sudden. No, you're sitting up here, sir. No, you're sitting up here on the dais.
Jimmy Hoffa. I have never been part of the Communist Party.
Can you explain the Russian flag at your table then, sir?
Oh, it's just all marketing bullshit.
All right, so let's just bring the microphone close to you as you can and project into the microphone.
There's shit all over these things. What are you guys doing here?
It's our spit cover.
Spit.
Is that what you're using for? Okay.
Yes.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Just say it.
Jimmy,
All right.
how you doing?
I am doing fine. How are you doing, my friend?
Okay.
Let me do a quick introduction, and I'm going to let these guys take over.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Every year at Super Show, we usually have some sort of award ceremony, like our frickin' Swear Awards. Probably know about them in the past. I've given them to people who have either supported the show through the online community or through being on the show, just being friends with us. Well, we can definitely say Sal's been a friend to us all these years. Yep. He's been a frequent guest on the show, a frequent requested guest to be on the show, going above and beyond the Call of Duty with us. So we're here to present with all of our love a freaking Swear Award to Uncle Sal Abernathy, everybody.
Very nice. Thank you.
So, Sal, thank you very much for everything you've done.
Thank you. I think this is the first thing I've gotten since the clap in college.
Well, make sure you're talking to the microphone, too, so everybody can hear you at home.
They didn't miss anything.
All right. I'll leave the panel to you, gentlemen. Have fun.
Good. Wow, thank you. That's nice.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly? Is it because I swear? Or is it...
No, Frickin' Swear goes all the way back to a gentleman by the name of Danny Brunell, who was a fan of ours, and he sent us a email, and in that email, I guess his spell check just wasn't working, and he thought we were freaking sweet, and it came in Frickin' Swear, and it was one of those recordings that we had that it was late at night, and we were just all silly, and we just laughed our asses off, and that became our catchphrase, Frickin' Swear. So we decided we'd have the Frickin' Swear Awards.
Okay.
So.
I mean, you didn't need to take a half an hour, but I was just wondering what it was. So I'm only here till Sunday. Jamie, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I should realize that.
I'm sorry. I'll be serious.
No,
you got me
serious.
at the Days Inn, so I got to be nice to you.
Yes.
Has anybody ever stayed at this place? Oh, yeah. This is like Scared Straight over there. It's trust me, it's not good. I'm happy though, but it's
Are you worried about going to the shower and just having?
No, it's like a Stephen King movie when you walk in at that place. The rooms are really small, and you got a shit side saddle because the door is, those places where the door hits your knees when you try to. So, and I'm 2 sandwiches away from 300 pounds, so I have to sit on the toilet this way, and it's not a good thing. So.
Do you have enough room to wipe? That's what I always worry about.
I usually don't worry.
Okay.
I just run my ass through a car wash, I'm good. How you been, man? How's everything?
I'm doing okay. I mean,
You staying out of trouble?
It is what it. No, of course not. Are you staying out of trouble?
Hanging around Pants.
Well, yeah, he's a jagoff.
He shows up to Pants. Pants is getting scarier looking. I have to say, Pants. He showed up yesterday. With that free sweatshirt you get when you get a subscription from Sports Illustrated. And I'm just like, Pants, you use that to wash the car, man. You don't it's not a fashion statement. So he shows up, and it's fucked up on top of it. It's got chili and
Well, yeah.
And 3 different kinds of and I'm like, Pants, thanks for dressing up to pick us up at the airport. Because he puts me with Art Baltazar, who's he's fucked up. And then his partner Franco's even worse. And then Mike Norton is one of those Duck Dynasty guys who doesn't talk. So I'm like, who are these guys, man?
Well, you know who they are. They're all
I
Chicago.
know. I'm just kidding. They're from Chicago. So what does that mean?
Yeah, well.
Put me with a bunch of jagoffs.
Well, yeah.
They're nice guys. I shouldn't say that because they know what room number I'm in. So.
Yeah. Now we are going to have, if anybody wants to ask Uncle Sal, because I'm thinking when we decided to set stuff, I'm like, well, what should we do? Just let him run wild, which is, I know what you guys want to do, but I also think you guys don't get a chance to actually ask questions. Now, how many people have seen, just by show of hands, have seen or listen to an Uncle Sal episode? Who know? So you may know who Uncle Sal is. So
my wife is always pissed off at me. She's like, they think you're an asshole. I'm like, well, you know.
So okay, then I don't have to do no explaining. So that's good. So wintertime. So I haven't talked to you since Christmas.
No, this was bad. This was really bad winter. This was a vasectomy winter.
Okay.
Vasectomies are anybody in here, don't ever do it. Don't ever, ever, ever do it. It's like The Shining. It's really bad. And I had like one of those doctors who killed more people than the electric chair.
Okay.
Mine. Yeah, where it was like a rusty butter knife. And it's just awful. No drugs. They don't give you drugs anymore. It's this outpatient bullshit, which is code word for you're fucked. You know. Or they put some like Oragel, on your genitals and say, go home, see you later, and give you Tylenol. And Tylenol is like what teenage girls who play volleyball take, when they hurt themselves. And I got no drugs to speak of, and I begrudge my wife every chance I get. So, which it's kind of an oxymoron when you got two kids. Why you get a vasectomy? Because there's nothing going on anyway. Because you got two kids, so the kitchen's been closed for years now. So I'm like, why do we need to do this other than maybe revenge for having two kids? So, and your genitals never speak to you again, And it was just one of those winters. And my daughter's 2, which means, and my son's 5, which means they talk shit about me right in front of me now.
You were talking about that over at the bar. You said your son calls you. What is it?
I'm him now. I'm him. What's wrong with him? And I'm like, who the fuck is him? And he tells me how to drive, and now he calls me him.
And where did you find your beautiful angelic little daughter? You told me
she's in league with the devil. I know she is. She's like got the 3 6s. She's starting school, which is good. The more she's out of the house, and she's gonna be 3. He's going to be 3.
Don't look at me. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, whoever my wife cheated with knows. I don't. She knows the timeline better than I do. But women, there's just little girls are just 10 times smarter at that age. They know how to manipulate more, and she knows how to use the remote, and she makes grilled cheese, and she's all George Foreman grills, all that shit. I don't know.
But you said you found her. Where that was. I was on. Literally, I was almost on the floor.
I don't know how this started, but I was on the phone with somebody and I told them because one day I walked in the house and she had a bag of Oreos and an axe in her hand.
You see, when you look at the picture, he has this little picture. You look at this picture, angelic little face, and he tells me the story. I'm on the floor. I didn't know. It was like a Fellini movie. I walk in, and there's a kid with an axe and a bag of Oreos. And I'm like, I don't understand where the axe came from or how long she had it or how much of my shit's fucked up. Because all my Bowen statues or anything I had, I just find hands now and fingers and part of Vulture's ear and always in my house. And so I look at my wife, and I'm like, what's with the axe? And she's like, well, I don't know. She takes care of herself with that. Like it was, don't ask me. The kid has an axe. We don't want to inhibit her creativity. Let her walk around with an axe. And I was like, where the fuck? It's that, new parenting bullshit, My mother would just beat our ass with Hot Wheel tracks. But now it's all about let them have an axe because you don't want to stunt their growth. And I'm like, take the axe away. And she's like, well, you'll upset her. And I'm like, yeah, but this is not good. And everybody argues with you about, let her have it. And she goes to Montessori school, which is all another whole evil thing in itself. So, and Peter's here. Look,
Look, Pharaoh showed up from back in Charlie's Angels. There he is. I just took down his Tiger Beat picture from my locker. Went a dream date with Peter. It's got the hearts, and Pants was in the same issue,
Yeah.
It's good to see Pants back in men's clothes, by the way. I'm sorry.
Now you did the funny thing when I called you on Monday to just touch base. You did talk about Pants with a pedophile beard, so that did
it's getting a little scary.
Yeah,
I know one of those shows. I'm going to see him walk in the kitchen, with the hidden camera, and I'm going to go, "That's Pants." Shit, with the Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. To catch a predator, and it's going to be Pants with the Toys R Us bag, and I'm going to go. He brought toys,
So how does you talk about?
I kid them with love.
Of course you do. Yeah, we have to put that proviso out. How is it different? Like with your mom to your children as it was to you? I mean, is it like not total night and day? Is grandma different from mom with the Hot Wheel tracks?
Yeah. My mom's crazy. That's.
Well, I know that.
No. Going in, I told my wife before we got married, I go, all you need to know is my mom is crazy, and she was always crazy. But when you're younger, you just assume adults are all, especially old Italian women with mustaches, are all fucked up.
You got that
so
right.
Now
she
doesn't get that it's a different world. So when you say, "Hey, Ma, I found her with an axe," and she's like, "Oh, just beat the shit out of her." That's her solution to everything. Just beat the shit out of her. And I go, "Ma, you don't do that anymore. You let them walk with the axe," and and it's hard to explain to them, because she goes to Montessori school. My son does. It's half Japanese, and anybody who doesn't have a half Japanese wife doesn't know that you basically do whatever they say or you're fucked up. And so my mother's like, "Well, he's going to speak English, right? Because I want him to speak English." I'm like, "No, Ma, he's not going to speak any English. He's just going to speak Japanese." I'm like, "Of course he's going to speak English." "No, Ma, he's not going to speak English, and he lives in Chicago." But tried to explain to her, you can't say Jap in my mother-in-law's house is a problem still. She still says Jap. And I go, "Ma, we don't say Jap, please, And she brings up my Uncle Mariano in the jungle fighting Japanese people, and you got malaria. And I'm like, "Ma, nobody gives a shit about Uncle Mariano. Just don't say Jap, please." But she has a problem with the whole you can't beat their ass anymore part of parenting. And she still wants to watch them, but my mother can't. She can't really work the toaster, so I don't know how she's going to take care of two kids.
So how were your holidays? I mean, big Italian family holidays. I know on my side.
Can I say I hate Christmas? Because I never, ever, ever get what I want. And I just write it down. I don't throw hints because there's no one in Scotland Yard in my family anymore that gets that. Don't buy me a Boba Fett T-shirt because I'm into comics. That doesn't fly anymore. So they give me old man shit. I get like robes. Or I get like a robe. I'm like, I tell my wife, "What am I going to do with a robe?" Or they get you they get you a flask, and I'm like, it's prohibition. I'm like, I don't run a speakeasy. Why did you get me a flask? Like I'm some kind of a degenerate drunk, which we know, but still.
Yeah.
And I try to be nice about it and buy gifts, but whenever I tell my wife, "Give me this or give me that, give me this," they decide to veto that I don't know what I want. They know what they want better for you.
Okay.
And it's always too small, and then you live in denial that it's too small, and it just sits in your closet forever because you're like, "Oh, I'm going to get into shape and fit into that again," and it never happens.
Yeah. So.
Did you have a good Christmas?
It was.
Do you still walk around with the mistletoe with Pants and do that whole thing? Pants, you still got the mistletoe gig going on at Toys R Us? It doesn't work anymore?
But where he tucks it is, that's where I worry.
That's what I'm saying. He used to keep the fresh mistletoe and the plastic mistletoe, and, him and Peter used to work the malls with that act.
Pants was Santa and Peter was the elf.
Yes, that's right. Angel Medina usually worked it, but I haven't seen it. Angel.
I was going to say,
I'll see him in Chicago, but I don't know what happened to him. I think he's still working on. I think he's doing some stuff for IDW with Kiss, but I don't see him anymore.
What are you working? How far have you gotten on that?
I'm working on my own graphic novel project, and it's coming along good, but it's harder and harder because I don't use a computer like other than the post production for scanning and printing and all that. I do all the coloring by hand, and I just have a problem with the Wacom tablets. I'd rather use markers and. So it's coming along good. It's a different project, a different process working by yourself when you're not working with an inker. But I enjoy it.
And you've written this. This is
I'm about. I would have to say honestly, I'm about 25 pages into it. But it's a graphic novel, so it's probably going to be another 30 pages at least. I have to finish.
Now, for those who may not have listened before, what's the graphic novel about?
When I was in college, I spent some time in South America and. Going to Rio specifically, going to Brazil, and going there as the bourgeois American, I was absolutely floored with the conditions of the homeless kids and how they live in Rio de Janeiro. So I just always felt that there was a story there that I wanted to tell of the boogeyman and that whole thing. So because there's a lot of religion in Brazil is based on voodoo and based on folklore, and it's I just always felt there was something really cool I could do there because my art style's not. Art Baltazar, obviously, so I can. Of course, you hang around with Franco, it's going to be like that.
Yeah, well, that's true.
My art style's kind of always been that darker, jaded, much harsher line, and I thought it would be cool to do a graphic novel based on it about the folklore and the voodoo kind of stuff.
Cool.
So.
Now I follow you on Facebook, and you keep doing the like sketch of a days. I mean, what. Do you do that just to keep sharp, or what's?
You have to. Well, you have to keep your chops up. It's important to as an artist never kind of feel you're comfortable wherever you're at. You should always pursue your weaknesses and getting better. And it's just that it's important to constantly work. And if you're not working on whatever your project is or your dream gig. The only way you're ever, as an artist, there really isn't any shortcuts. You have to work all the time. So I find the sketch of the day, you jump into a character you would like to see a certain way. And with 2 kids, without any sanity in my life whatsoever, I can sit and draw while I'm getting hit with things. I can, and if it gets screwed up, I could just go, oh, that's how I wanted it to look. I wanted it to have cat shit on it or something, because I... Still haven't found my cat.
So that happens a lot. The cat.
Yeah, I have a cat, and it's interesting because it's the water and the food disappears, and the litter box gets full, but I haven't seen my cat in 2 years. And he just hides from the kids and lives in complete. He's like Rambo in the mud, you see the eyes. And every once in a while, the couch pillow will move, and I think it's the cat because he's just smart enough to stay the fuck away from these kids. And that might be what the axe was for, maybe. I don't know.
I was going to say because you was a 2-year-old going on 3-year-old daughter. That probably was in league with the devil.
The cat is the smartest one in the house. Absolutely, just refuses to go anywhere near my kids.
Oh, okay.
And I honestly haven't seen her.
Now you would, again, following you on Facebook, you were down in Florida doing somewhat anatomy classes?
There's an instructor, and anybody who's into art who hasn't heard of him, everybody in the animation business, in the instructional type part of art. He was the head of animation at Disney for like 30 years. Okay. And he's taught all over the world. His name is Glenn Vilppu, Vilppu. He teaches at UCLA, and he teaches he teaches constructive anatomy. He teaches composition, and this guy is just like a maestro in terms of he's classically trained in Renaissance and anything you could think of. This guy knows, and he teaches a week-long seminar in Florida every year for every level of artist, and it's like an 8-hour-a-day thing, and every, like I said, every level, and it's just fantastic. He's got instructional videos. He's on YouTube, so if you ever get a chance, look this guy up. He's phenomenal, and he added lots. I learned a lot. If you think you know anatomy, look this guy up. You'll learn your anatomy. He teaches a 2-hour class just on hands and different body parts that are just. He goes in depth, like almost to the point of medical illustrations. But it's he's just a maestro.
So how did he convince your wife to actually let you go to Florida for that?
I lied.
Okay.
I lied. Yeah, I said, "Oh, honey, this guy's dying." And he's 95, and his last wish is to instruct a guinea, and he's trapped in Sarasota. I can't, some bullshit. And it was around the time of Christmas, and I just said, I'm going, for 5 days, and I'm not going down there for strippers or to hang with Peter. I was going to, and I can't, again, anybody who's into art or look this guy up, he's phenomenal. He's got, books and videos and all kinds of stuff.
No, was it something that he only has like so many classes that he has open up?
Well, he teaches. I guess he does a lot of online stuff now. He teaches these online classes,
okay.
And I really wasn't into it. And I know he teaches. He's got like 3 times a week at UCLA, and he teaches a bunch of classes. And he's got a studio in Burbank, I think, that he teaches animation and things like that. Different. And this was just one of those weird things. I got a letter that he's going to be in Florida for a week. I guess his daughter lives there or something. I just thought it was an opportunity I didn't want to pass up.
Sure.
And I just, I just bullshitted my way down there. And it was, he's phenomenal. I mean, you feel like an idiot when you deal with him because he's, he looks at your work and laughs and then tells you how fucked up everything is.
Which I get, I can imagine, because looking at your stuff, you do a lot of that anatomy stuff, especially with
this guy is just you learn. It's important to learn what you don't know because we tend to fall back to our strengths, and then because it's a comfortable. You reach that comfort level of what you know you can draw, and that's where you tend to kind of go to. And then it's important to approach the stuff you can't draw well because that's the only way you're gonna kind of move on as an artist. Now that and looking back at old work and realizing how shitty something looked. If you look back at old work and you're completely pleased, then you're not doing something right.
That's interesting. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
They don't care.
No.
They
don't. They don't.
Why would anybody care other than
I have a question.
Yes.
to the handsome gentleman?
Where? A lot of stuff going on right now with DC and Marvel, behind the scenes kind of stuff. Do you what's your take on all the stuff that's going on right now between those two companies?
I know that a lot of it's gotten really corporate, and which is kind of I guess a good thing and a bad thing. The problem from an artist point of view is the corporate stuff means that they're looking for the cheapest guys they could find, and they're not. Other than if you're not a top tier guy that they're going to coddle and kind of craft a project for. When you hear this bullshit of these guys. We're in Mexico looking for talent, or we're in the Philippines looking for talent. What they should say is they're looking for a $50 a page guy, which is what a lot of the companies. DC has gotten a lot more. Warner Brothers since Marvel was bought by Disney, Vertigo and DC have become a lot more corporately, responsible. The corporations kind of watching the fact that what's losing money, what's not making money. And so books have to come in at a certain budget or a certain number, or they're going to start getting hacked. I think in some ways it's kind of almost it was going to happen because the real value of Warner Brothers was always the licenses, not the books itself. And so, Jim Lee is he's the guy now, but because they got him redesigned. But if the stuff doesn't fly, trust me, they'll move on and they'll find somebody else. The Lucas thing, I kind of figured would happen a few years ago because Lucas just got tired. He doesn't want to deal with the day-to-day bullshit anymore. And he figured, why not, hand it off to someone who's going to, pump new life into these things. I was surprised he sold everything. I heard that they just killed LucasArts and some of the educational divisions that he was, near and dear to. And he lives in Chicago, of all things. Now, I don't know what happened where... He's got some honey, and he lives in Chicago now. So I don't know what he's doing there, but in some ways it's kind of sad. I see how it's changing a little bit with San Diego, because Warner Brothers wants them to kill the DC booth. They don't think that they don't think that the comics booth is worth it anymore. They think that the real value of the comic. They think the corporate guys that really run the show are the corporate guys at Warner Brothers. Because DC is almost like their little company to them. And the Warner Brothers guys resent going to Comic-Con and everybody focused on DC Comics and not on Warner Brothers. They have the water tower. You ever seen it at shows? Mm-hmm. They want that to be the focus. They want you to focus on their TV shows and things like that. So they've been arguing for years to kill the comic booth and just have it be Warner Pictures. And that's bad because, it'll take away from, or they figure the video games make more money because the profit margin on video games is so much higher than comics. So where it's headed, I don't know. I still know the digital division, they're kind of disappointed with how many comics people read online. I don't know. I've tried it. I'm still not a big fan of it, even though Atomica is on Comixology. And it's nice, I guess. It looks cool. Kids like it, but, I don't know. But the corporate stuff I could see little by little. They're hacking more jobs. They're changing more things. And, who knows in 10 years? I mean, they don't ask me. I know they don't give a shit what I think.
Well, no. I don't give a shit what you think.
Jim Lee's this little guy who, people still buy his books, but he's smart enough to stay on books people like. You don't see him taking on like a Ghost Rider miniseries or something. Mm. He stays on Batman, which he knows everybody likes Batman. Marvel, it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. I know they're starting to introduce Marvel products into the Disney stores, which is cool, I guess. I mean, if kids can get into comics, that's really important. But I don't know, man. Distribution is still a problem. There's still not enough comic stores, and they still don't sell comics at enough places to put them in kids' hands. I don't know how it is here, but I know comic stores in Chicago are, thinning out.
Well, you've got like over a dozen stores in Chicago, right?
Yeah, but a lot of them don't carry, of the dozen stores, 2 of them carry indie titles. The rest of them carry, don't pick up the books that tend to fall peripherally. And Diamond is cutting, the catalog down or making it so expensive to the point where if you're an indie publisher, it's harder to put a book in Diamond. You've still got to get it out there. So a lot of guys like, Mike Norton and other guys do the webcomic thing. I think that's important to do, to get it out there. But print is tough, man, for a comic, and it's going to get tougher. I'm not a death rattle because I love comics, but it's tough.
Well, now, you also do a lot of stuff over in Europe. Is it similarly over in Europe, you think?
Comics are still big in Europe. I don't know what their numbers are. I know whenever I do Italy or you do France or places like that, they love American comics. And ironically enough, in France, they love cowboy stuff more than superhero stuff. In Italy, it's still big, but I don't know what big is. I mean, sometimes it's relative. You'll say, oh, comics, they're big in Italy, but what's big? 10,000 books, for a certain title? Or what do they consider big? But there's still royalty issues that creators have with, there's a lot that they can hide when your book gets put out in Italy because there's no way for you to, say, hey, how many books did you sell? You owe me a check, and then they just can play stupid about it. But it's a different world. They don't like capes. They call it capes. They don't like capes over there. They like Vertigo, and they like cowboys. And, the shows over there I know get bigger and bigger every year, but it's foreigners, so,
Yeah.
It's always siesta whenever I'm there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, have you heard like any rumors or rumblings from because we keep seeing people leave like books at DC and for editorial. I won't even say that because I don't know for certain, but those are the rumors. Has any you talk to people? What are the rumblings you're hearing?
That's always high school shit. Whenever you hear, oh, this guy left for that guy left for this, it usually comes down to they were promised a book that they weren't given. Their insurance was better here versus here. Or it's a pissing contest of, I want to steal you to work over here because it looks good for me if I'm this guy. Mm-hmm. So 9 times out of 10, every creator I've ever talked to who left somewhere was because I was working on Aquaman and they promised me Wolverine. And there's only certain titles that get royalty checks connected. There's only big 3 or 4 books that you can actually see back-end money from, like Wolverine and Batman and X-Men, and it's got to be a main title, not a mini. So if they say, we'll give you Batman, and then you go, oh my God, I've always wanted to draw Batman, and then you get there, you find out it's not the book, it's a mini. Which is still, you'd think, is a good thing, but for certain creators, if it's a step down and now you're making less money and you don't have, and it's harder and harder with insurance now. If you're a freelancer, you've got a family, or even if you don't, you've got to worry about who's going to pay for your insurance. And if they offer it at DC and Marvel tells you forget it, Joe Quesada needs another car, It's not going to happen. Or a Cuban restaurant. It's always baby bullshit.
Okay,
It's never anything like. It's always like Joan Collins and Dynasty, some shit like that. It's never. Well, there's a certain cases where guys were with guys' wives and stuff, but that's usually,
well,
that's happened actually, But
I'm wondering, since you do the global scene a little bit more than some other creators, how much do you yourself feel that digital is the future of comics? Like, is that something that only really comes up in the U.S. or?
It has to be. Because everything's going digital. I mean, eventually, if they could find ways to put it on our phones where we could read it, they would. I know that was the word that video game wise, that's where video games want to be, because they know that there's one thing everybody has now is a phone, a digital phone or a smartphone. They don't buy into it so much there right now because they're still kind of, without offending them, they're kind of 10 years behind us when it comes to that kind of stuff. When you go to Italy, they don't know what you're talking about with digital comics so much. I mean, they're delving into it. The bigger companies over there are going through the same bullshit they're going through here, like Delcor and Soleil and Panini. There's always this kind of, all these smaller companies that keep kind of, the only way they can survive is by consolidating. So you might have an upstart company that's fantastic with lots of indie titles and young creators that are really kicking some ass. But the minute that they feel insecure about you, instead of bringing you in and kind of feeding it and letting you breathe new life with new money and new financing, they just buy you and tell you to get the fuck out of here. No, it's easier to buy you to get rid of you than it is to buy you and kind of admit that, you've got something to offer that we want, but we don't want to admit that. We want to just, push you to the side. Yeah. So every time there's some really great companies overseas that I've talked with over the years about doing stuff with, with my own title and things like that. And then you go back the next year and they're gone. They're not around anymore because it's a tough go of it if you want to sell comics anywhere, even though, people talk about all the billions of dollars that Avengers made and this and that. So the money's there, but it doesn't always make it to the comic store. If that makes any sense.
yes.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of cool companies over there that when you do a smaller show, you'll see like, wow, why don't we see these books? But unfortunately, then a lot of the companies will just take for sure things. They'll take popular books that they know everybody wants here, and then they'll just translate them. Mm-hmm. Where the Italians now are translating Walking Dead, and I told them, how can that be? Because it's siesta 5 hours a day. The zombies will never kill anybody because they're always fucking sleeping, And they didn't understand. They were offended and told me to leave the country. I told them I knew Jamie, and they let me stay.
Yeah, I put in a good word for you.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm fairly certain Jamie was one who called you Uncle Sal, or after he's been on for a while.
Yeah.
And it's been almost 8 years.
Been 8 years?
Yeah.
Because you were the original guy that called me. He called me for money, ironically.
He did.
They were getting started, and he wanted to know if we commercial stuff, and I said, sure, why not? It was the early days of podcasting, and that's,
Now look, you're doing a panel.
Now I'm doing a panel.
So you've seen a lot of the listeners come up to you at different conventions and all the years.
It's been great.
So what's the one story that they always want you to tell, and can you tell it again for maybe people who haven't heard it? Is there one story that they always remember from?
They're all bad, and I usually always tell them because I'm in my office with a door locked, so I don't worry about pissing anybody off. Buzz naked, running down the hallway getting arrested in San Diego was the one. Me shitting out a window was another one. And the poodle, where I got knocked unconscious, was the other one that they would ask about. And
Yeah. Can we hear the poodle story, Uncle Sal? Please.
All right. I promised years ago that I would put it into retirement, but for Jamie, I'll bring it out.
Thank you,
Because
Uncle
Peter's
Sal.
here. It's hard to believe, but 1,000,000 years ago, I was a lifeguard. Imagine me, a lifeguard. This was 100 pounds ago. So a friend of mine, my hand to God, this is true, I would never lie. And it really started out as a bad story. Somebody asked me, "Hey, have you ever been knocked unconscious?" And I said, "Yeah." And I told the story, and then they thought it was funny, but it was really a bad story that's turned into a funny story. So a friend of mine, when his parents, you know, when your parents go out of town, you would throw like this bash. So he used to throw these parties when his parents would go to Florida. His father was a cop, ironically, in Aurora, Illinois. His name was Jeffrey Nod. I never forget. And so we had a party. Everybody's going along. Time of your life. We're drinking and smoking, and everything is good, you know. And I met this girl at the party. I know it's painful to think of. I met this other lifeguard, and she was one of those girls. She's probably 1,000 years old by now. She's probably a grandma. But she was one of those girls that smoked pot with her parents. You know, those hippie types, you know, that don't shave. And it was scary. But we start talking, and we started, you know, having a good time. We're getting drunk. She invites me back to her house to get high with her and her dad. Which I was like, okay, it's like Apocalypse Now all of a sudden, you know. So we get really, there's no kids in there.
No.
We get really high and drunk, and we're having a good time. And, you know, we're running around playing, you know, chase me, hug and munch. I'm sorry. And so I'm pretty drunk. We were drinking. We made Everclear Punch, where we would take grain alcohol, mix it with NyQuil, and we would put it in lemonade, and it was just awful. It was like when Shemp made the rocket fuel in the Three Stooges. It was like that. Literally, that's what we were drinking. So I get up in the middle of the night, and her room was like one of these. She turned the basement into like this passion pit, you know, stabbing cabin kind of room, you know, where it was all hippie shit with beads, and it was pictures of Peter and David Cassidy and shit like that. And so we're down, and you know, I get up in the middle of the night. She's sleeping, obviously, from humiliation. She doesn't know how to kill herself quietly. And I get up to use the bathroom, back when I still had a penis. I get up to use, and it's one of these little man-made, you know, half-assed bathrooms that you have in basements oftentimes. Where, you know, it's like my hotel room now, where it's a sink and this much room. So I'm urinating, and on the top of the toilet is a bowl of these little soaps, seal-shaped soaps, pink ones. So I start, you know, and I knock the bowl over, and I go, oh, shit. So I get down on my hands and knees to pick up the soap, these little soap things, and put them back, and I'm half high and half drunk. So a bunch of them went behind the toilet. So I stick my head between the sink and the toilet, and I'm in there like the cattle being ready to be slaughtered. I'm stuck. And right as I'm back there, I feel this little piece of like wet bologna lick me right on the taint. And it scared the shit out of me. And I jumped up, and I hit my head on the sink, and I was knocked unconscious. And I was out cold. And I didn't even know she had a fucking dog. I had no idea. And I woke, the next morning, her father was waking me up. Hey, man, are you okay? And I had naked pieces of this pink rug all over me, and my penis looked like a hamster because it's all stuck to my penis. And I got up, and I got dressed, and I got out of there as fast as I could. But I had a lump, like a grapefruit, on the back of my head, and I didn't know what knocked me out until I was leaving, and I saw the poodle sitting on the bed, you know, panting with the snot out of his eyes. And, you know, and I go, it's that fucking poodle. Because it just felt like, you know, wet bologna in a tuba. Is just...
Poodle kind of like wink at you as you walk
It
down.
was just like a paintbrush, just right, and it just threw a strike, because it didn't, like, touch my ass and then hit the taint. It just hit the taint, first shot. It was bullseye, man. It was just bang. And my ass called the brain fast and said, get the fuck out of there, and I jumped up. And there was nowhere to go but up, and the sink was there, so it was either I went through the sink or I was unconscious as soon as it hit. I saw stars, and I was... So there's. I have no idea what happened when I was. I mean, like literally out. Like don't remember anything after that. So I could. There could be Polaroids of me and a poodle floating around. I don't know, but it's possible. That's the poodle story.
Yes.
I'm sorry. For Peter. I want Peter.
So I know con seasons are driven up. How many people have been already hitting you up for help with San Diego and stuff like that?
San Diego has gotten just everything bad about it and good about it is true because there's this many people for this much stuff who it's not just fans and people that are into comics. It's everybody now wants to go to San Diego, media related or otherwise, and it's just logistically impossible now for this many people to have this many hotel rooms, and that's the easy part because there's almost like different gauntlets you got to run now. First, you got to get a room, and then you got to get a badge, and then so it's hard to plan your show. Usually you got to buy your tickets in advance, not knowing whether you got a room, you got a badge. Can I get in, or I only got a badge for 1 day? I don't have a 5-day badge, so it becomes a mess. And I've become like this teacher after school that everybody has a story why they have to go to San Diego, and I've only got so many, and it's hard to say no, but many times I just don't have them, and I feel bad because it's sometimes it's people try to blackmail you with a poodle or some shit like that, or my brother-in-law, and I'll be like I don't want him to go, I don't want to see him, so. It's harder, and it's only going to get harder because they're going to expand it, and it's coming in the next few years, and then it's going to turn into everything it is now, plus gaming, video games, which is going to make it uglier. I don't know. They're talking about cruise ships, parking cruise ships there, which I think is a joke, but that's what I heard. To alleviate the hotel problem, they're going to put a cruise ship there. I'm like, yeah, that'll make it easier.
Yeah, I'm sure. Buzz.
That'll work right perfect with Buzz falling.
I'd say
overboard.
Buzz will call and ask for one of those.
Yeah, Burmese guy's naked on a ship.
At least if he runs around naked, then he can go overboard.
He was naked the time that I saw him arrested, and Asian guys don't have any pubes, ironically. Which I discovered right then and there. I was like, he really was
hairless all over.
He was hairless. Jackie Chan was hairless, and he was getting arrested by San Diego PD. Had him face down on the floor, and I was like, should I say something or should I leave him alone?
And he was staying in your room at the time, right?
I was staying in. Well, people kill me because everybody breaks my balls about San Diego now. My first 3 San Diegos, I slept in a bathtub.
Okay.
Because he had a room where it was like fucking Ellis Island, where he had 50 people staying in his room. I mean, literally anybody who wanted to stay in Buzz's room, if you had money or you were willing to put up with his bullshit, would say, sure, you like slanty-eyed people, come stay here, And so he'd let everybody stay in his room. And if you got to the room late or past a certain time, there was like not even a piece of floor to sleep on. So I had to roll up a towel and sleep in the bathtub because there was nowhere else to stay. And then guys would still go in and use the bathroom and be shitting and everything and farting, and I'm trying to sleep, and it's like it smells like a. But they were lean years, man, where where Buzz would, and that's why Buzz and I have been friends for so long, because he was the guy who would help you out when he didn't have anything to gain from helping you. Nowadays, you get people that if they feel there's something they can get, then they act like they're your friend. But Buzz was friends to everybody in those days.
I'll be honest, that's probably the best advice you ever gave us as a podcast.
Stay away from Buzz?
Well, yeah, that's it. But no, you said, I can remember you saying it. You said, watch out, because this is as we were kind of going up, and watch out for the people who have the most to gain. And,
they'll all be nice to you.
And
It
was true. It was amazing how true that was.
Or when they're talking to you and they're looking at your badge, that's the other big giveaway. If I'm talking to you and it's like, hey, and you come up to me and you go, hey, how are you? And I'm like this, hey, and I'm going like this. That means I don't give a I want to know who you are first, instead of just treating you like a human being. Like, hey, we're just two guys. Now I've got to go, well, does he work at Marvel or does he work at DC? That's going to dictate whether I'm nice or I'm a jagoff, those are the guys you want to run from. So or they, like I said, you got to get guys when you got nothing. Just be nice, just to be nice. You really shouldn't be a rule to be nice to people. You know,
You've always treated us like a jagoff, so.
I hate all of you anyway, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
we hate
I
you
don't
too.
like pants, but you got to put up with them.
Yeah, because he's pants.
You got a subscription to Sports Illustrated? You're into sports, really? Or was that like you stole it from your neighbor's mail?
That's like a 15-year-old free when I worked at Office Max. Yeah.
Okay, but you got to be into sports to get it, right?
I'm into sports enough.
You are?
A little bit, yeah.
Enough. What, like polo, or what are you into? Badminton?
Yes, polo.
Polo. I don't know. I just saw it and I thought, wow, I didn't know Pants was a sports guy. You know, I expected to see, bigtoolforyou.com or something.
Speaking of sports, and the time of baseball is around.
Cubs are mathematically already out of it.
Really?
Yes.
I was going to say
I can
because
tell you right now, they will not be in the playoffs.
There's
guys on the team that are aren't old enough to drink.
So you don't think at all? Because
No.
I mean, it's,
No, absolutely not. They're a AAA team. They're like Iowa, the Iowa Cubs we call them. They're horrible. I mean, they're usually bad. They're like smell like the bathroom here, but they're bad.
eesh,
That
that is
bathroom.
bad.
Anybody been to that bathroom? It's yeah.
We apologize. In
No,
advance.
it doesn't get any air in there. There's nothing, so there's guys that have gone in there that it's like T-Rex shit in there. Where like it's biblical shitting's going on in there. I mean, there's a guy that I swear to God he's in there. He was in there, and then I went again before I came out. He was still in there shitting.
I went in there right before we came up, and honestly,
Right?
I couldn't find my way to because I was high or something.
Don't apologize. I'm
it
just
was just
telling
like,
you,
boom.
it is. It's like it's not a good thing. It's
No.
like I went in there. I was like, wow, this is like I had flashbacks of public high school all over again. But there's some world class shitting going on in that bathroom. Let me tell you something. There's guys that you hear the noises, and there's the porcelain going, and there's a lot of and then it's really dimly lit in there, so it's almost like a killing field.
I was expecting like the walkers to come out somewhere.
No,
as
it's
you were-
bad. It's like the good thing is it's like if you're ever like we get attacked or anything, just hide in there because nobody will go near that fucking bathroom. So 2 steps and you go, fuck this, I'm not going. Like Galactus would be like, keep it, fuck it. I'll come back later. I mean, you can
I'll eat everything but this.
But that, yeah. I mean, it's on Redding. Put it on their tourist guide, of where circled, of like the macabre or haunted houses. That bathroom's
bathroom.
fucking haunted. Yeah. There's like it's like a corpse in the trunk of a car in there, man. It's bad.
Oof.
And I mean, I've smelled bad bathrooms, but this bathroom, it's fucked up in there. I mean, I need therapy after going in there. My sperm count just dropped when I went in. No poodles.
No.
Thank God. That poodle's dead by now, ironically. Which is a good thing. It's been that long that fucker's dead. I would have killed him, but I thought he was a pillow. Salty tongue. It had I don't know what he ate before. He called me for years trying to date.
Well, yeah. Well, you aren't forgettable.
Yeah.
That is what you are.
I'm sorry. People right now are going, what the fuck did I do with my life so bad that I got stuck here with Sal? Right now, everybody's going, what time is it? It's like they're like DMV right now going, how fucking long till I get my driver's license? Get out of here. Peter, you got a poodle story, don't you? You don't? You didn't shit out a window? Nothing like that? Because when you shit out a window, the shit never breaks. It just goes on. Like a Play-Doh Fun Factory,
Okay.
where it's the shape of a star.
I will take your word for it. That's
No,
for certain.
it just came out of my ass and would not stop. And it was winter, so I was shaking my ass to try to break it, and it wouldn't break. So,
Yeah.
and it was steaming, and it was
No,
I had to
why
go
did you do that again?
her toilet was broken, and she kept shitting in it anyway, and her landlord got mad and wrapped it with duct tape. So we were in there, and we're all getting all romantic, and then I said, I gotta go to the bathroom, and it was one of those, like the ball at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark where it's coming down. It was that kind of shit. It was just, I couldn't stop it. You ever shit where you run in the house with your coat on and your keys, and you shit with your coat on because there's no time to take the fucking coat off, and you're knocking people out of the way. It was that kind of shit. Where it was like Dagwood, where you knock the butler and the mail goes up in the air. I had to shit like right then. There was no time to think, oh, maybe I'll muffle the sound with water, or I want to be sensitive and Joe Cool. And I had to shit really bad. And it was like New Year's Eve shit where you're eating cheese and cucumbers and just all kinds of just sick shit. Where the shit's just on a mission to get out of your body as fast as possible.
Been there.
So this shit was like sticking its head out like a turtle. It was like ready. Yeah. So I went in there, and it was a fucked up bathroom again. It was old tile, and it was real acoustics. I was trying to muffle the shit when it wasn't working. And then right as I'm about to open the lid, she goes, "You can't use my toilet." So I'm like, all right, I'll shit in the sink. And then that got worse because it started to turn into tea, because I was trying to wash it down the drain, right? So I couldn't shit in her sink. So I said, I'll shit out the window. It's January in Chicago. I mean, now mind you, when it's this Raiders of the Lost Ark shit, you've got this much time to do this much thinking. It's literally like you got 3 seconds to shit, Jamie. Go. You got to,
Not that
find
bad,
a place, okay?
Okay.
And still get laid. Because if I shit on her floor, she'll think I'm a fucking Cocker Spaniel and go, forget he's Italian was bad enough. I'll shit on my floor. So I opened up the window. It was January. It was like 50 below zero in Chicago. And I hung my ass out the window, which is no small feat when you got my ass.
Yeah.
It's a big ass. Looks like a guy smoking a cigar. It was a big ass. So it's cold, man, and it's steam coming off my ass. But the shit didn't care. The shit was like, cold or not, we're going, But it comes out like a noodle. It wouldn't break. It just kept going. And I don't know if it was third or second, and then I was shaking, and it wouldn't break, and I'm trying to break it, and I'm reaching, and I can't get my hand out the window and my ass at the same time. So finally it broke, and I looked down, and I swear it was a perfect burrito swirl in the alley behind her house. And she's like, "What are you doing in there?" And now, mind you, add to the tension, someone's going, "What are you doing?" I need a tampon or some bullshit. I don't remember what it was. And I wound up, I think I used like one of those fluffy socks to wipe my ass, and I threw it out the window. Because she didn't have any toilet paper either, because the toilet was broken.
Well, yeah. Why would you have toilet paper if the toilet isn't working?
Use like a Happy New Year towel or something. Napkins from Howard Johnson's or something. Because you're not picky, and you need something. You'll use a doorknob if you have to.
My Lord.
I'm sorry. There was nobody else you could get a panel with that wouldn't talk.
No,
because I know they were desperate. I know they went down the list, and Jamie goes, "Oh fuck, I'm all the way to the S's, and then they got to the U's. They moved me to Uncle Sal. And moved me to the U. And he got to the U's, and he goes, "We don't have anybody there with an X or a Y, And Art Balthazar doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't tell us good shit stories as you do.
Because, listen, when you got to shit, man, you got to shit. And it is my superpower, by the way, in case anyone knows. I can't shit anywhere. I know a lot of grown men that can't shit in a Starbucks or in a McDonald's or in this bathroom. But I will shit at a party with a broken lock where the toilet's a mile from the door. You ever go to those parties? And read a magazine. And if you open the door, I'm be like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm just not afraid, like we're trying to catch the door. Wait, I'm not shy about it because everybody has to shit, Starbucks, I've had it where the lady walks in, and I'm like, go ahead, don't worry.
So do you still have it at home? I mean, do the kids
Oh no,
walk in when you're
shitting at home is my only bastion of sanity because it's the only place I can hide. But when you shit at home, kids all want to come in the bathroom, so the arms are under the door, and then the doorknob turns real slow. They want to sneak in, so it's like a fucking Hitchcock movie at my house when I take a shit. And I tell my wife, I just want to take a shit. You're in there yelling, and it's like, what are you doing? And it's like, I'm shitting. And then I hear my daughter yell, he's sitting down. And she's looking, you see eyeballs looking under the door. Because they put the... So I'm just like, I got to leave my house to go take a shit. I mean, you try to... I have to go right now. And you're like, okay. And then when they really need to get in, they just lie. I'm going to shit my pants. And you go, okay, I'm done. And then you got to do one of those quick ones, and that never works out. Because I'm one of those,
Yeah, and I have that same with the kids. It's like you're going to the bathroom, and my little nephew will just come, boom, hi, Unky, I'm here.
Yeah, no,
I'm like, please close the door. Please close the door. I'm going to the bathroom.
You'll horrify them when they see it sitting on the toilet. It's not a good thing. When you got kids, you can never, ever take a peaceful shit. Those days are over. Okay? Sleeping and shitting are gone forever. Watching a certain program on TV,
What's that one program that they watch that you just can't fucking stand?
Well, it goes in cycles. Right now, it's Peppa Pig. Okay? English-speaking pigs. I don't like English people anyway, and they speak like pigs. And my daughter watches it to nauseum, and my son, I try to turn him on to shows, but it was Word World, and now it's Peppa Pig. And
okay.
They're all bad. Yo Gabba Gabba is like you got to be on heroin to watch Yo Gabba Gabba. And then you try these other shows, but they'll be into it for 15 minutes, but because of DVRs, you want sanity, so you tape it for them and you put it on so you can actually go shit or go eat or go, have a semblance of a life. So usually when I'm doing those sketch of the days, it's during Peppa Pig. So if one of them ever turns out that way, that's what it was doing.
Any shows that you're watching right now on TV that you're into?
I got Walking Dead, I kind of fell in and out of it a little bit.
Okay.
It just got to the point where you knew nobody was going to die because in the season, how are they going to kill this guy kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I got bored with it a little bit. I like it, and I know my wife watches it, so I'll still watch it. I like what you call it, the one where he's a terrorist. Homeland? Here's a guy who gets away from the CIA every fucking chance he gets, but his teenage daughter is always sneaking up on him. How the fuck does this work? Where he's like literally hiding in his garage or whatever, explosives, and he turns around and there's his teenage daughter. But yet, Navy SEAL teams can't catch this fucking guy. Told my wife, I'm like, see, that's teenage daughters. Dad and Southland I like a little bit. It's a cop show. Mm-hmm. That's about it. I mean, in my house, I have zero veto power. You know how long you've been married based on how much shit your wife lets you keep on the DVR. Mm-hmm. Because mine, when I get home now, all my shit is gone, and it's 14 Jada episodes of her making fucking chives and potatoes, and I'm like, we know how much she's going to do, and I like when she chops because her breasts move a lot.
Amen, brother.
And my wife's like, do you like the show? And I'm like, no, it's okay. And Dad, and there's some guy redoing a kitchen, and it's always Brian or somebody who's rehabbing a house, and I'm like, I'm not doing any of this shit. So what's the point of watching it? I don't understand. And all my stuff will always be gone, and it'll be that type of stuff, or it'll be a Julia Roberts movie where she's a hooker again or something, and it's always chick stuff and my stuff. Flintstones or whatever never makes the cut. Never. Ever makes the cut. Kojak never makes the cut. Starsky and Hutch. 70s shows. You know how old you are based on... You're starting to realize how bad these 70s shows were when you watch them because they're all coming... I don't know how it is here, but they're all making the rounds now in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, around here, too.
Channel 50 or whatever it is. But
you got
Bionic Man I watched the other day.
Oh.
$6 Million Man.
I loved that as a kid.
Oh, everybody did. But I'm just saying, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is like,
Yeah. Yeah, I do not remember that. I don't know if it It's just me. Like I said, I'm glad to hear you say that because I was watching it too the other day. I was like, ooh, wow.
They're bad. Kojak's pretty good still.
Yeah. I love the unintentionally funny stuff, like Dragnet. When it's because my dad and I'll sit there and it's like, watch, Joe's gonna yell at a hippie. Joe's gonna take a hippie down.
Yeah.
Joe's gonna tell them how the police are the greatest in the world, and and it's and and it always ends with like a zinger. Joe will zing somebody. So my dad's sitting there and he goes, zing! There he goes. He just said,
No, my wife, she's 10 years younger, so I try to. She doesn't remotely understand certain shows that I watch. She's like, I can't understand how you watch this. But I'm the same way with the bullshit Paul Azan or all these other people that are cooking, and I'm like, nothing like this is ever going to get made around here. It's sushi, or I go out and get something.
Or something from the South.
Yeah, it's always Japanese cooking in my house, which, I'm overweight, so which means I eat out all the time. I'm perfect. I ate perfectly well, no problem. We ate on the way to eating yesterday when I was with Art. We were like, we needed to warm up in the bullpen. So we went to that Mexican joint before we went to Spruce and ordered more shit there. And then when we were back, I was going, Domino's is on the hotel key. They've got, the hotel key's got Domino's on it. I was like, I wonder if... But Domino's won't set foot in our hotel.
Really?
No, they're afraid. It's like hazard pay to come to our hotel.
Oh,
they won't
Lordy.
approach it. But it's a good idea. Put the pizza on the hotel key.
Yeah.
And you got all the big shots over where at the other, what is it, the Crown Vic or...
I thought, you guys aren't at the Crown Plaza?
We're not at the Crown Plaza. I hear all these great stories about the Crown Plaza with hookers and groupies.
Yeah.
And I'm over at the...
Well, that's where hopefully we're going
We
to go.
got the Jimmy
we're going
Walker
tonight,
family reunion at my hotel. It's pretty bad on my floor. It's loud. They're playing Chaka
Good
Khan
times.
And, it's like Escape from New York on the second floor.
Okay. James!
And Isaac Hayes. And, it's pretty bad up there. They got me in a room next to Norton, so he's listening to fucking Waylon Jennings and Hee Haw and all that crazy shit. He's crying. Tammy Wynette CDs didn't make it or something. Norton's a nice guy, but he's quiet.
Yes.
The quiet guys scare me, especially when they're from the South. Because I think they're like spies, where the South is going to rise again or something.
Yeah.
They're still pissed off they lost that war.
Yeah. Yeah. We Northerners have to watch
They're
out.
still pissed at us Yankees.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, any more questions? Anybody have a question?
See, I told you they didn't.
Yeah, I know.
You
and I
got me
should.
next to? Who's that guy you got me next to?
What, J.K.? J.K. Woodward?
Who's that guy?
He's like a rock star artist.
He is? I don't know.
He's hey. All I know is we put you next to two guys that spoke English. You bitched about the other cons. You were guys that spoke
but
you
put
foreign
me next
languages.
to a guy with blonde spikes in his hair, and I feel old when I'm next to this guy. He's got a club shirt, and he's drinking those energy drinks. Young guys do that shit.
What's kind of guinea corner? We had you, Calafiore.
Just don't put me near Jamal.
Wow. Why?
He's like, where are the white women at Jamal? You know Jamal, right? Am I lying? Is he here? Fuck. Throw something at me. Hit me with a jar of Afro Sheen or something. I don't want to get killed. No, Jamal that's Jamal.
I know.
I know Jamal. Jamal was one of the first guys that Buzz introduced me to way back in New York when I was thin. Sure, how long ago that was. Mm-hmm. And he worked at Harris. Jamal was working at Marvel, and he was thin too. And he introduced me to him, and I know Jamal forever, and it's always been about white women. Tony Akins is the same way. I mean, it's like pants with sweatshirts.
But those are usually free. That's
free ones that he stole out of like a library or something.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
Well,
somebody left that in the store, and some kid's crying right now for his.
I've watched pants at shows where he's pushed over children to get those free shirts that they're throwing out. Yeah. There's like this little kid, boom, and he's like, "Oh, I got it!"
See,
and he comes back, he's all like,
"Balls" when I say something, but no, that's Jamal's a sweetheart of a guy, and then who else is over there? You got
Lee Weeks, Art, and we have Katie, and who else is over there? Oh my
Because I never
goodness
get
gracious!
to walk around. I
Yeah.
mean, at
Wacker's
most
over
shows,
there.
But I've been
and-
walking around at this one, but I don't. It's like you walk by and then you're not sure if you should talk or they give you a stink eye. Or,
All of them out there love you.
Listen, you're under some kind of delusion.
I
I
am
don't
not.
have people that like me in my home, where I paid the mortgage and shop and
Yeah, but
get my
you
nuts
don't
cut
talk to
and
these
everything.
people.
I talk to everybody. I mean,
Yeah, but I talk to them too, and
You
they're
got
saying,
me
"Oh my
next
God,
to
Sal's
flock
so
of
funny."
seagulls, and he doesn't fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
And on the other side, I
Well, he
don't
doesn't
know who
talk
the
to
fuck's
any-
that- Oh, you got what's
I
his
gotta say,
face?
Califiore's over
Yeah,
there.
he's weighs like 90 pounds. He'll have like a waiter at his funeral carrying him out. He's a skinny Italian guy.
Yeah, but
Califiore's always pissed about something. You ever notice that? He's always red-assed about something. And he's another guy I've just known forever. He's been around. And he's got this big booth like he's at fucking Graceland or something. I'm like, and who's on the other side? You got the 101st that didn't show
the
up?
501st, yeah, I guess
That's
the Star Wars
Ryan's
guy.
bullshit. What did they dress up?
Yeah.
Make believe?
Oh, yeah, he likes
Where
to do
are
that.
they?
I don't know.
So you put me next to guys that don't give a shit.
Yeah, pretty much. We were running out of room, and then we just said, "Oh crap, there's Sal." We
Say
gotta
what
put
you
him
mean. The rejects,
there. Yeah.
the section of substitute assholes will put over here next to the Italian guy.
Yep.
Because I might offend somebody.
Of course. You're lucky you aren't in this room.
Fucking have it.
We were thinking about putting you
Put
in
me
here.
in the bathroom while you're at it.
With like a cage so people could
This
just
would be okay here.
Don't feed the
They would
Benanti.
leave me alone. Over where I'm at over there, they're talking all kinds of shit about how much fun their hotel is. I'm hearing all these great stories about this hotel. Like it's like Led Zeppelin's there or some shit. Beating naked women with fish and all this shit. And I'm over at the hotel with fucking Thunderdome and Mike Norton
And you don't even have Angel to put on your shoulder to
no,
be
and
Master Blaster.
there's some jagoff who has a car alarm anymore. You know those homemade ones. You know this asshole's got a car alarm and he parks it right under my window. And you must have told him, hey,
Yeah, I did.
Jagoff's up there.
Yep.
Right there. We want to fuck with him.
That's just
He
my
parks
car.
it right under my window, and he was like, I was ready to come out of retirement and shit out the window on his car. Every 20 minutes, this car alarm, I swear to God, would go off. And it was like, it was a piece of shit car on top of it. Like, who's going to steal this thing? I was ready to give him $50 for the car just to turn the alarm on. Buy the car from him. So I'm up all night between that and you pick to find time to leave me Lucille tapes that Norton's playing, and Jimmy Walker on the other side, and then across the hall is all these fucking guys that are selling parakeets or some bullshit. So I'm hiding in my room, and it's like the curtains are the same material as the bedspread. And then there's a shower curtain with daisies, and someone took a cigarette and burned out the center of the daisies. So I'm going, there's some sick fucking serial killer who's waiting to come back to finish the daisies, and I got to sit like side saddle on a horse, like I debutante. I can't even, hang my feet out. And I call home, and my wife's like, "So how are you? How you doing?" And I hear parties and shit in the background and ordering pizza. And when I'm at home, we shouldn't order pizza, Sal. You have a little bit of a weight problem, But then I come back and you see all kinds of cool boxes and sick shit they ordered when you were gone and real pop, not all that fucking stupid diet shit that was on sale or whatever.
Well, now, are you trying to
Oh,
lose
yeah,
weight
I've
at
been
all?
trying for 20 years. Doesn't mean it.
Yeah.
Also been fucking trying to build a time machine. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. They've been trying to, get the Cubs to win the fucking pennant. Well, they don't even try to do that.
No.
But
What about the Blackhawks? They're doing pretty well.
Yeah, the Blackhawks are fine, but that's hockey. I mean, it's a kind of a cult following for hockey in Philly and Chicago and places like that. But Blackhawks are great, but they've priced out the core group of fans that they used to have. They're fan because the United Center is expensive as hell to go to a Hawks game. I still go once in a while. I used to season tickets back when it was the old place, but they'll be all right. I mean, we'll see what happens. Their goalie is fuck. I can play goal better than their goalie. That's my story, man.
Are we done?
You want to hear? You tell me. This is
I
your
don't know.
gig.
Hey.
I could talk about shitting or whatever you
Well,
want.
go ahead.
Talk about pants some more. Pants, how are you? And I'm going to see you at C2E2 or no?
Yeah, I'll be at C2E2.
Okay. Because Pants walks around and sticks a tape recorder under your. Hey, Sal, how are you? And finds out who's more important than me. Sal, can you introduce me to Jim Lee? I want to talk to Jim Lee.
I hear you know Alex Ross. Can you get me in on the show?
You don't want to deal with that jag-off. He's a world class. Never mind. I don't want to go back to cutting limes just yet. But.
Is he going to be? Is he doing anything? I mean, he did
He's
the first.
working on.
He did the first issue of Mask, but is he doing
Yeah.
anything else for that?
I told him, I said, just paint somebody that people know. You know,
Uh-huh.
Somebody that was around before radio was big. And he loves those golden age characters, man. And it's just, that's his thing. And he wants to work he still wants to work for the big guys, but he's got, it's got to be the right situation. The problem he has at DC is he doesn't want to do the redesigns. He wants to do classic. He'll do the classic version of the characters.
Oh, okay.
Or even just the Batman we know, the Superman we know. He doesn't want to do them with a ponytail or where he owns a Korean grocery store, whatever the fuck he's got him doing. Or Batman's got a dog or some stupid shit. So it's always about that. Marvel, I don't know. I don't know if it's – Marvel doesn't want covers anymore. They want a project from them. And I said, that sounds good. That makes sense. That's more ambitious. But – he's another guy that's a family guy now, and he used to be just a workaholic, staunch workaholic, like 7 days a week guy. And now he still works like crazy, but he wants to have time to have a life outside of just painting. But.
Yeah, I was wondering because I'm a huge fan, have been forever, and it's just like all you see is like the covers are great, but damn, I want some more stuff.
He's doing this year. He did the 4 Star Wars covers. He's doing. He did some Superman stuff for the film. He did some litho. He just did a Batman piece. He did a Wolverine portrait piece for Marvel. He did that's in the pipeline. He's got 2 more big, super big Avengers pieces that he just did, classic Avengers. And what else has he got in the pipeline that I saw? He's still talking about doing an indie project, but I don't know if that's going to work because Masks didn't sell at all. But again, I told him, I said, it's characters that they're all been dead for 100 years.
Yeah.
And so they want him to do and rightfully so, they don't want him to do covers. They want sequential stuff from him.
Yeah.
So, and he does just shitloads of the video game guys are calling. He did the Assassin's Creed stuff, and, which he didn't know anything about. But the video game guys come in and they're like, oh, we want, and he's like, no, I don't want to do it. And the money they pay compared to comics is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 times what comics pay. Video game companies will just say, hey, we'll give you this. And you're just like, what? And you're like, okay. And then he's like, I don't know what that is. And I'll go, just fake it, God. Put a hood on and get a bow and arrow. Nobody cares.
Now, does that kind of stuff, like, because if people don't know, you're his art dealer.
Pimp.
Yes, pimp.
Reach around.
Yeah. Is that the kind of stuff you're going to be able to get to sell original stuff?
Gaming companies, especially, that's the other thing that people are questioning about Disney is that Disney has a policy now, before the Marvel thing. I don't know if it's going to get grandfathered in or it's going to work, but for creators at Marvel, the Disney deal might fuck them up this way. Disney has a deal where when you do work for them, they own the work.
Okay.
Like you do a cover, they own the rights to print it, they own the original, they own the prelims, and it's done. And there's no room for argument. Now, if you get more money in a buyout, which means that you get, say, $2,000 for a cover, and then they buy the cover for an additional whatever, then you're okay. But if they're not doing that yet, but if that happens, you're going to piss off a lot of artists because they're not going to be able to sell their artwork.
Sure.
If you're drawing Spider-Man, they keep all the art. But with in Alex's case, video game companies, that's how it works. You do a piece for them, they own it. You can't show it. You can't tell anybody about it. Assassin's Creed he did 2 years ago, and sometimes they sit on it for they market it years later, but they own everything.
Huh.
So
no, that's interesting.
yeah.
I mean, well, do you think he'll start doing like original stuff just to sell it at shows?
I don't know. Alex is a weird guy. When it comes to that kind of stuff, he's just absolutely passionate about Marvel and DC stuff. But it has to be, he doesn't want flavor of the month. He's very eccentric. He's like Howard Hughes pissing in milk bottles kind of guy. It has to be the way he wants to do it, and I respect that from one level. The other level, you're just kind of like, come on already. People when you're the Beatles singing Stevie Wonder tunes with this shit. Do give them what they want. They want the main guys. They don't want, Dynamite. Did I say Dynamite? Oh God, don't get me started on Dynamite.
What do you mean?
If Dynamite could buy the license to Lassie, they would.
Okay.
And I would get handed a Lassie cover to try to sell, and it just becomes like I tell Alex, I'm like, Alex, people want you. You're a premier talent working on projects that 10 years ago you wouldn't have done. But he's also he's a guy that he doesn't when DC approaches him and says we've got a new Batman. He's like, I'm not fucking painting that because in 6 months it's going to be gone. I don't want to do that. I want to stick. He was like passionate about these characters in that sense. But the stuff he does with Dynamite allows him to work and not have to, bring his hat over to Marvel and DC and say, hey,
Yeah, which is crazy because I can't imagine them not wanting him for.
Well, the other biggest change in the business too now is they're not going to coddle egos. They're not going to No, you look at Adam Hughes and Alex and lots of big talented guys. If you fuck up deadlines and you're not going to be willing to play ball with them the way they're promised, they're just going to move on. They're not going to coddle you anymore. They don't want to coddle. The companies don't want to promote you as a creator. They want to promote their agenda. Okay. They want to pimp Batman. They don't want to promote Jamie painting Batman. They want that Batman is more important than the creator, and that's the direction it's headed. And for the last 20 years, it's been more about the creator in a lot of cases. Like now it is with writers. Writers have become almost like, what's he writing? And people don't even care about the character as much as sometimes who's writing it. Yeah. That's going the other way now. They're not going to coddle guys with poodles and bullshit and pants, sweatshirt collection.
I just thought we've got to get like the Uncle Sal anthology where we have artists visualize the poodle story and the shit not the window story. And
see, we're back. I thought we're back around. We're always back to that poodle.
Yep.
My wife. Oh God, that's so disgusting.
Do we have any more?
It haunts me in my dreams. It does. It's in the room next to me. It really is.
Do we have any other questions for Mr. Sal Benanti? Because I've kind of run out of things to talk to this jag-off about. So.
I could have told you that 3 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
I want to thank Jamie for inviting me. Jamie was, he sent me he didn't ask me. He threatened me in an email. He used to, Pants would be like, Sal, if you're not doing anything, when am I ever doing anything? Jamie's like, you really are a prick. He started the letter like that. You haven't come to our show. I don't know what your problem is.
Well, I just get tired of the bullshit. Oh, we don't. You never have me on anymore.
You
Nobody
don't.
loves me.
How often am I on? Once a year?
Well,
you'll have Tiziano. Okay, this is a hairdresser who claims he's not gay.
Well, yeah.
It's fucking impossible. It's like in the DNA. You cannot have a scissors in your hand and cut without a dick like this. Can't happen. Cannot happen.
Yeah, hey, you're going to get an argument from me.
You have him on.
I know the man.
I'll look and I'll go, again? You'll have him and you'll have some guy who's talking about his comic he did on a burrito and Peter bought it. And
well, I was tired of that, so I was telling you, get your ass here so you can see everybody.
Shows, and nobody ever calls me. And Pants' bullshit at shows will be like, when you have something to talk about, Sal, we'll have you on. He turns into Mike Wallace on 60 Minutes all of a sudden. Like, what the fuck do I talk about on there? I got nothing to say other than, talk shit about everybody, because they're not going to hire me anyway.
Well, yeah.
What do they care, But Jamie went out of his way. He invited me. He said, "Look, Jagoff, I'm the only other Guinea in Pennsylvania, and we need the quota to go up by one more guy. So come to Reading, and I'm going to put you at this really nice hotel with some really finely groomed gentlemen." And
we chose
Art and Franco wearing a vest. I'm waiting for them like the barbershop duet to start fucking singing. What's with these vests?
I believe it's for their "Oh Yeah" comic that they're doing, their Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Nobody wears vests.
Well, hey,
Brian Azzarello wears vests, but he looks like Colonel Sanders. So. And I like Brian, but he's thin. I don't like thin guys that are too thin.
You said that before.
They make me nervous.
They make you
because
nervous.
when you reach a certain age, you get tits and a belly. That's how it works.
Yeah. Certain age, 20.
Yeah, it happens.
Well,
thank you.
Mr. Evan, I thank you very much.
Bullshit. Now, when you don't listen to me when I'm not on, you know what I look like.
Yes. But thank you. I just want to thank you for being here. Mr. Sal Bandy, everybody, thank you.